I'd like to call to order the May 28th, 2025 OCVB, O'Fallon Convention and Visitors Bureau meeting. Susan, can you please do roll call?
Heather Patterson,
Present.
Kelly Perano,
Present.
Don Dietrich,
Present.
Patrick McKeon,
Present.
and Kurt Patel,
Unexcused.
Jason Crady,
Unexcused.
Amy Corrigan,
Unexcused.
Councilmember Bibb.
Present.
All right. Councilman Bibb, would you mind leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Okay, we'll go right into it with the approval of the agenda. Can I get an approval of that?
Motion to approve. McKeon.
Second by Perano.
Okay, can I get a motion to approval of the minutes from the March 26, 2025 meeting, please?
Motion to approve. Dietrich.
Second, McKeon.
Thank you.
Do we want to vote on that motion?
I always forget about that. Okay, can we vote on that for the motion of the approval of the minutes, please?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, thank you. All right, we'll go into the discussion items. The first one is the updates from the O'Fallon Tourism venues. It looks like we have Nina D'Angelo here with the museum, the Veteran Museum. Would you like to give us an update, please?
Absolutely. I'm gonna shock myself touching this thing. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Because you know I'm a shorty, so I gotta adjust this. Okay, here we go. All right. Memberships are now available at the museum, in case you didn't know. We have brought in 11 new members at various levels of membership since January of this year. We also have corporate sponsorships available, and so those are designed to assist with our day-to-day operations. The corporate sponsorships are for where we're currently located. We have brought in 2 corporate sponsorships since January of this year, and it takes roughly about $160,000 to $165,000 a year to run the museum. We are in a feasibility study right now. We are about 2/3 of the way through this. Our final findings should be presented to us in about 2 weeks, so stay tuned. We'll bring that to you guys' attention when it comes available to us. We do have a Salute to Service VIP tour scheduled for June 18th of 2025 at 8:30 a.m. at the museum. You can sign up online or on our online on our Facebook page or on our website. It's not out there at this very moment, but when I leave here, I'm going to go back and put it out there, so you can do that after this meeting. What will you experience at this VIP, you ask? Let me tell you what you will experience at this VIP tour. You will get a brief history of the museum's mission and impact, a guided tour showcasing inspiring veteran stories and artifacts, and a compelling call to action on how you can help us preserve and share the legacies of those who served. Also coming up on June 14th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. is an all-Ford car show on the premises of the museum. There is no pre-registration for this event. Registration is taken the day of, and it's a $10 registration fee to bring your pretty sweet, super sweet Ford into that show. And then it's free if you want to just come and look at the cars and peruse around. So a food truck will be on the premises for this event, and participants and showgoers are welcome to purchase their lunch through that food truck. Just so you know, those proceeds on that food truck do not go towards the museum. It goes towards the actual food truck itself and for us having it there. The museum will be open for tours during this time, and donations are happily accepted during those tours. And then that particular show is going to be sponsored by Traffic Law Firm of Missouri and Clement Ford. So thank you for that. Our music bingo night was on Friday, May 16th. It was a pretty good success. I'm pretty excited. We brought in roughly $18,000 on that event, which is a little more than what we brought in last year. So we're turning in the right direction when it comes to those fundraisers, which is pretty exciting for us. We had about 200 and I want to say it was like 65 in attendance. And it was over at the O'Fallon Elks Lodge, so it was a really good time. Veteran History Project, in case we did talk about this at the last meeting, I did tell you guys that we were bringing the Missouri level Veteran History Project up under the fold of the museum. That has been accomplished and done. So with that came 2 new teams, one out of Boonville and one out of, I'll think of it here in a minute, the Baldwin area. So basically St. Louis area. So those teams are volunteers and they're currently going out and collecting veteran stories via video interview. And then those are being archived at the Library of Congress forever. So that's a really cool program that we have going on there. Let's see, we're always looking for more veterans to do those interviews. So if you know a veteran, have a veteran in your family, maybe your neighbor, the guy down the street, whatever, just let them know we're here to service them in that capacity, and we would be happy to collect their story. Our 3rd annual Remembrance Gala is coming up. This year it'll be on Friday, November 14th. We are going to host that at the Old Hickory Golf Club. More details available soon. The committee did meet and we did talk about what the sponsorship packets and tables and tickets would look like this year, and all of that is getting finalized and should hopefully be up on the museum's webpage for the gala by the end of next week. So stay tuned for those as well. And then we are teaming up, we talked about this at the last meeting too, but we're teaming up with some history teachers across the county, which is super exciting. We offer our facility up to history teachers across the school districts that are here in St. Charles County, or anywhere really, to come and kind of do a professional development day in our museum if they want to. This can happen on a Monday or Tuesday when we're not open to the public, and they can peruse around the museum and kind of look at what we have to offer. And the exciting thing about this is that we had the Wentzville School District came in a couple of months ago and did a professional development day with us. And one of their history teachers, her name is Lindsay Cahoe, she's actually coming to meet with Lori Stock next week, and they're going to sit down and talk about what it looks like to develop a curriculum around Missouri state standards so that we can offer that to other school districts and other schools around, to hopefully use the museum to help enhance their curriculum and just complement it, not necessarily take over it, but complement it. And then also, one other thing I wanted to mention really quickly is that we are working on a 2026 marketing plan, which hopefully will bring a lot of people into the O'Fallon area, where not only will they come and visit the museum, but they'll come and spend dollars in the community as well. So, any questions?
You have any questions for Nina?
Okay, you guys keep doing what you do. You're awesome. Thank you.
We're looking forward to that feasibility results. Thank you. I do have an update from David Schmoll from the Car Shield field that he gave me. They were able to sell out their home opener last night with over 3,000 people. He is projected to sell out 2 of the next 3 nights, which are June 3rd and June 6th. I don't know if that's confusing or not. Tacos and Tequila Festival is coming August the 16th, and they are expecting over 9,000 people. So those are the updates that he gave me on that side of things. All right, so then we will go next into we don't have Anchor here for the hotel update, so we will move forward into the tourism and festivals. So Jennifer, you are up.
Okay. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Summer has officially started for recreation, tourism, festivals with this past holiday weekend. We did have our first Jammin' concert last night, and it was the Count of Monte Carlo. We probably had around 850 to 900 people there, so that's a pretty good number. The way the weather was starting earlier in the day, I think we were all a little questionable on what we may get. It's been a very wet, soggy spring so far, and so far the summer's been a little bit that way as well. But we are off and running. Everything went great. Our next concert will be on Tuesday of next week. I did put up at each person's seat a schedule of the Jammin' concert lineup. It's kind of a best of the ones that we have had over the years, all rolled into one season. So I've heard a lot of great comments from people saying they're very excited about this lineup. So kind of share the information. This is a magnet, so you can put that on your refrigerator if you can do so and spread the word. That would be wonderful. And next week is going to be Wildfire. It is a country band, so that will start again at 6:30, runs until 9 o'clock, and that's over at Civic Park each year. So. Next, I'm going to jump into the O'Fallon Heritage and Freedom Fest. Just a little update about what is coming on each night. And then at the conclusion of that, I do have a short video that was played that announced our entertainment for the 4th and the 5th. But before we get into that, I was just going to review a little bit of information. We are open up on July the 3rd, and that is going to be our family night that evening, and that is from 4 until 10 o'clock. So our entertainment alley will be open that night. So there is a NASCAR hands-on activity like a simulator. There's also going to be glass blowing done that night. There's inflatables. All of our food and beverage vendors will be open, as well as the carnival. What we're taking out of the mix that night, since it's family night, it's a soft opening. The main stage is not going, and we don't have fireworks going on that night, but we do have a performance from Ian Shepherd. I'm sorry, I just said Ian Shepherd. It's Ian Ferguson. And he will be performing that night from 6:30 until 8:30. So there will be some live music, but it's just not on our main stage. So we're creating our own entertainment space there. And then on July 4th, we will start at 9:30 in the morning with our parade, kicking off here at Main Street at City Hall. And then we will open up at noon on festival grounds. The new piece for the parade this year is we have 3 oversized helium balloons that we will have inflated. So it's a red star, a white star, and a blue star. And so these are like 13 feet by 13 feet. So think a mini scale of Macy's Day Parade. So we'll start small and see where we go next year. And
Will they be in the parade route? I mean, will they be
yes, absolutely. So yeah, that'll be something new and fun, something a little different. Honestly, I don't think that has been done here before, at least since I've been here since 2013.
Are you looking for volunteers for blue tenders, people that?
So we are currently working with some sponsors who that is part of their sponsorship, is they have the ability to be a balloon handler, and then of course wear a shirt that represents who they are. But we are also looking, if they cannot furnish enough people, we will be looking for volunteers to help assist with that.
I like the title of Balloon Wrangler, if you don't mind.
You go, I will provide a hat and a lariat.
Sounds like you're volunteering.
Ask and you shall receive. So we have a lot of unusual resources with festivals, so you never know. We also work with cultural arts, so there's lots of costumes, Patrick, so don't you worry. So yeah, I am excited about the parade and throwing in that enhancement this year. So we will open at noon. Once that parade is over, those same pieces that were on Entertainment Alley will continue again that day. Then our stage will come live. We have DJ Lunar Riot, who we actually had last year, just kind of creating some of that atmosphere music before the stage really gets going. Mark Perkins, who is a local from this area, he has performed with us before, will be on stage, and Dirty Mugs, and I'll let the headliner be announced here shortly. Then on the 5th is going to be Country Night. We will open up at 4 o'clock, excuse me, and we will go until 11 that night. Same thing with Entertainment Alley continuing. And then our stage will come up with DJ Lunar Riot again. She will be playing the Women of Country, because we have an all-female lineup on the 5th of July. And they're all a bunch of powerhouses, and I love it. So Chapel Heart will be taking the stage, and Tiger Lily Gold, and then into our headliner as well, and we'll have fireworks that evening. We will round out that time frame on July 6th, and that is going to be our carnival closeout night. So at that point, it will strictly be the carnival that will be there. All of our vendors and that type of entertainment that was on Entertainment Alley will have been moved out at that point, and it will be carnival concessionaires and the carnival rides themselves. So with that said, carnival tickets will be on sale June 2nd, so that is just around the corner. And they will continue until July 2nd at a reduced rate. And that will be $25 in advance. When you get on the property, or once the event actually starts on the 3rd, that pricing goes to $35 a person. So that is all available on our website, and all the transactions take place online. You would get a confirmation. You would take that confirmation to the ticket booth on the day of your choice. It's an open-ended ticket for either the 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th, but once it's redeemed for that said date, then that is then considered used. So you just take that confirmation, cash it in at the ticket box office. They'll give you your all-you-can-ride wristband at that time, and then off you go. You can purchase on site, however, it is going to be an additional $10 fee. So, and parade applications is the last piece I was going to mention, and that is still open until June 6th. And at that time, we'll be looking at closing the parade applications, but otherwise, we still have a few more days, and we're doing pretty strong for a non-political year. A lot of times we have additional in a political year, but we're got a pretty good numbers going on so far. So with that, I would like to go ahead and introduce our video for our main stage lineup, and then I can take any questions after.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
At Heritage and Freedom Fest, our community celebrates America's birthday like no one else. With thrilling rides, delicious food, and the most colorful parade in the area. Every year, some of the biggest rock and country musical acts in the industry grace the main stage to join us in the party. Now, it's time for the big reveal, the soundtrack to the greatest Independence Day party in the St. Charles region, Heritage and Freedom Fest. Award-winning artists Neon Trees are branching out with a new album, Sink Your Teeth, energizing crowds across the country with their bombastic indie rock prowess. Everybody talks about how the timeless sound of Neon Trees will have you jamming into the night. With their explosive blend of retro pop and new wave rock and engaging performance style, Neon Trees is sure to keep you begging for more. Still want more? We've got you covered. After capturing hearts on American Idol, this country music star's powerful voice has entered her glory days.
Right here, right now, I say these are the glory days.
Multi-platinum star Gabby Barrett has already surpassed 3 billion streams with her debut single, I Hope, reaching the top 3 on the Billboard 100 and topping the country music charts for 27 weeks.
You're ever gonna need, and I hope you like you did on me.
As her career skyrockets into the stratosphere, make sure you catch her on the rise at Heritage and Freedom Fest. And you'll see why she's one of the good ones.
Love me like you should, one like you wrote the book, one.
What are you waiting for? Join us and our amazing headliners, Neon Trees and Gabby Barrett, at this year's Heritage and Freedom Fest.
And a great big shout out to our production team who has put that together. They always do an amazing job, so I am thankful for that every year. So with that, I would be happy to answer any questions on anything that we were chatting about prior to the video.
Anybody have any questions for Jennifer?
You anticipated I was going to have a question.
Of course.
Last year, there was, I think it was last year, rain. We had rain issues, severe rain issues at times. I'm just curious, kind of what lessons learned did you gain from that, and kind of what the plan is or contingency plans are this year?
So really the biggest piece that affected us last year, rain is the R word that we are not allowed to say during the event. You get shushed if you try to say it. However, what we were able to do last year, and the biggest piece that was actually impacted was the parade. Everything else ran without a hitch. So as far as the parade goes, we kicked it back maybe 30 minutes. Does that sound right? 30 minutes? And I feel like we even had more people on the parade route by pushing it back with that. So, and it all worked out. I want to say probably the smallest glitch was the fact that when the parade is ending, our bus shuttle system was also starting at that time, even though we pushed back the route time to 1 o'clock instead of starting at noon. Not everybody can get all of that information, so there's a little bit of confusion, but if that's all there was a pin drop out of the entire canvas, I'm good with that. But it did not affect the stage at all, which can sometimes be equally complicated, if not more. We have dealt with rain in the past when it comes to the stage lineup, and unfortunately, sometimes it's either a delay or a whole artist just has to get skipped to be able to keep as close to being on schedule as we can. The ones that we need to absolutely 110% make sure that we get on stage is the headliners. So, but there has been times where we've had to delay or somebody's in the middle of a performance and we just have to get them off the stage a little bit sooner, and it's due to safety, whether it's wind or lightning or rain. So it's all dependent on that. I've already had an emergency management meeting with just about every supervisor of each department that's on festival grounds, including emergency management, St. Charles Community or St. Charles County Ambulance District as well. So we've all talked about whatever those potentials may be and how to react to those.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions?
I'm assuming you're also doing the cultural arts?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I am.
You get to stay where you are then.
So as of yesterday, was Brittany Sievers. She was our cultural arts specialist. It was her last day yesterday, so she is no longer with us. So I will be taking care of the cultural arts report. We do already have that position posted and accepting applicants, I want to say, for at least another 2 weeks. And hopefully we have some good results with that and get the position filled. So Brittany did leave me some wonderful notes, so we will go from there. O'Fallon Theater Works presents The Curious Savage. The auditions were held at the end of April, and the cast list will be announced on Facebook and social media. and that is going to end up running in the first 2 weeks of September. As far as exhibitions go, we did have a exhibition opening not too long ago, which was on May the 16th. It was very well attended. We had multiple artists here showing at City Hall, down at the Renaud Center, and then also at Krakow Civic Center. So at City Hall, it was Maddie Unger and Mel, I'm going to botch this last name, Tyknag, I'm not even going to try, Mel. Melty. So Krekel was Dave Walker and Renaud was Ken Conical. And exhibitions on view from May 14th until August 30th, so almost to the end of summer. Currently with O'Fallon Theater Works, we do have Six, the musical, the teen edition, that will start up this first Saturday of June. So that is June 6th, 7th, and 8th. And then again, the 13th, 14th, and 15th. Those tickets are on sale now. You can get them through our website. So far, we have 403 tickets sold. And Dine and Discover is going to be on June 7th at 6 o'clock. There are still tickets available for that. It's where you would have a meal prior to going upstairs to watch the production. Cast members would usually come down, you know, kind of do a little meet and greet with people, chat with them, sign playbills, things of that nature. And that's going on as part of a program through the Renaud Center. There are some workshops coming up. There's a visual thinking strategies workshop, and that is held on Tuesday, June 10th at 10 a.m. And that would actually, that's being presented by one of the individuals who is here in City Hall for their displays. And then an adult class, art class 18 plus, is on June 24th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. This is an ink workshop with Annie Campbell. She was actually in our Krakow Civic Center the first part of this year. So she's one of our artists. So all of those can be signed up online through RecTrack through registration. So that is a conclusion of where we are with cultural arts. If you haven't had a chance to see any of our productions through O'Fallon Theater Works, I'd like to encourage you to go ahead and participate in that. And like I said, those tickets are on sale now.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Jennifer in regards to that cultural arts side? No? Okay. Patrick.
I know.
All right, thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
All right, Kelly, next up is the budget.
Okay.
Sure.
You guys reminded me of a couple of things I failed to put. Okay, you guys reminded me of a couple of things I failed to put on my notes. So we will be in the parade this year. Our theme is the Great American Road Trip, so I'm excited for that. And then we will be out at the Carshield Field at the Hoots game on July 7th for Military Night. We are providing a veteran to throw the first pitch, and we'll have a table with information out there as well. So
Nice.
there you go.
Thank you. All right, off to the budget.
Okay. So attached to the agenda was an updated budget from a few weeks ago, and I actually handed out a current one that I just updated today. Most of the changes has to do with the revenues, so we just updated the revenues. On the budget, for 2025, the amended and the carried over budget, I have two shadings. The lighter shading for the 300,000, the 44,000, 161, the 28,000, 9,000, 45,000, the 6,000. Those were everything that we amended the budget for at our last meeting. It had to do with the theater works, the improvements to the theater stages and that, and also funding for the turf. So at this meeting, I would like to, what I've actually included in the darker shading are 3 items that were actually in the 2024 budget that were not encumbered before the end of the year. So we were planning on encumbering them, but they didn't get time and they did not rebudget them in 2025. So they have asked that I put them back in the budget for 2025 since they weren't able to get them encumbered and under contract in 2024. So these were things that were budgeted prior, but we just they didn't get to the project. So the 3 things are the Veteran Monument repair, the Veteran Walk parking lot repair, and then the design for the U.S. Space Force Monument. So that's the changes for the amended budget, and we'll vote on that in a little bit. But the trending, the revenues, they seem to be pretty steady. They look like they're decreasing a little bit, but we had a change in ownership, change in management, and so we're working with one of the accounts that haven't been actively submitting their taxes, so we're going to check with them and make sure they get on path for that. So we should see an increase in the revenues hopefully by July. Any questions on the revenues or the expenses that are listed here?
The Kelly, the idea of recently where we had this amended budget with carryover, I'm always a little confused by what exactly the carryover amounts are. Is it possible to add a column that would show the carryover portion from the 24 budget?
Yeah, I could add a column going forward, and that would clarify that. The carryover, so we have the approved budget,
Right.
which is what we approved. The carryover is stuff that is encumbered. We're in the middle of a project. So that becomes the carryover amount, which ups our budget amount.
Yeah.
And then our amendments are some of the theater works and
Yeah.
the turf. So yes, I can add a column and say, this is the carryover, and these are the amendments.
Yeah. So then we would have the carryover amounts that are coming out of 24, the approved budget amounts, and then the totals, the amended budget with carryovers included, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, that would help, thank you. And then as she said, the light gray markings are the ones that we have approved at the last meeting.
Correct.
And there was a little bit of reallocation of some existing monies that we already had in the fund at
Correct.
that point, correct?
Correct.
And was that the Theater Works line item, or was that something else that we,
Yes, we took some
Oh.
of the money from the special events.
special events, right, yeah,
Yes.
right. Right, so that 44,789 is
That is reduced from the 80,000, but it then add the carryover that existed on an item that was in the middle of being completed.
got it, okay. Got it.
Confused yet?
Yeah, just about. Okay, thank you.
Fernanda, any other questions on the new items, which are actually items that were from 2024's budget?
So these are the same items and the same amounts that we approved in the 24 budget, and did not realize the need to reallocate them into the 25 budget, correct?
Correct. When we started the budget process back in September, well, prior to that, but in September, I tried to ask the departments that are responsible for them if they think that's going to get done. Well, in September, you think you still have 4 months. Unfortunately, these did not get done or started and encumbered, so.
That's happened to me before. So.
Okay, so we need then to do a vote on the amended budget with carryover.
I will make a motion to amend the budget to include the $6,000 for the Veterans Walk monument repair, the $35,000 for the Veterans Walk repair on the parking lot, and the $5,000 for the U.S. Space Force monument design. That's my motion.
Second, Dietrich.
All in approval?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, we are on our next line item then with budget request process. As you will see, each of you guys were given the ordinance for the OCVB. On the other side of that, you will notice there is a funding guidelines. In light of the fact that we've had some large budget requests, this is kind of brought to our attention on how to maybe handle those requests in the future and how a process could, maybe better be handled. And what we have here is some guidelines that we'd like for everyone to review, to kind of go over it and kind of see how they feel about it. Adding this as a policy to the OCVB on moving forward with any requests that we do get for funding. You'll notice as you kind of go over this, a couple things that kind of stood out to me was, as we go through this, we want to make sure that obviously how that impacts tourism and benefits the hotel stays here in this area. And then also after the funding is approved, what that looks like post-project, on having some updates and be able to discuss that funding further even after those projects are done. But what I would like to ask the commission is, as I mentioned, is to kind of review this. If anybody, open for discussion, if there's any objections. And then if everyone is comfortable with it, then we would adopt this at our next meeting, which is at the end of July. And that moving forward, this would be the process then that would be the policy for the OCVB, any requests put forward. So if anybody has any questions about that or would like to discuss any of that, we can do that now. But we also have, like I mentioned, until the end of July to our next meeting to be able to approve that.
I was just going to say, as a suggestion, to be prepared for the July meeting, if you have a recommendation or any questions on this, to go ahead and submit it to the group. So I can come up with, or Susan or whoever can come up with a draft of all the different possible wording or options or things that they want in it. So that can be all ready to go instead of having just a full discussion at that time. So we'll have the discussion, but at least it'll be in writing if anybody wants to send the email into all of us.
I agree. If there is any objections or if there is any questions about that, then we can all discuss it as commission members in email, and that'd be good.
Madam Chair,
course.
in preparing this document, Kelly made me aware of the fact that there had been a funding policy in place from 25 years ago.
Yeah, it was from 2007, and they're just, again, they're guidelines. So
Right.
they're not going through any kind of ordinance, or it's not even part of our bylaws or anything like that, which I would look into possibly if we could tie it to the bylaws, but I don't know if we want to do that. So I'd check with Kevin on that.
Yeah, I kind of approached this and drafting this as a policy that we would follow. I did see that that original document was more of a guidelines for this, which I would assume gives a little bit of flexibility. So the question would be, ultimately, do we want to adopt this as an official policy of the OCVB, or just consent on using these as funding guidelines to direct anybody who would be approaching us about funding projects?
Anybody have any questions in regards to that? Okay, so that'll be up for review. As mentioned, if we can communicate until then, and then be able to decide what we want to do in July.
One last comment. This has been also reviewed by our city attorney, so we're making sure that we're staying in compliance with his recommendations.
Thank you. All right, our next line item is the 5 ideas. As you know, the OCVB, we have been working on these 5 ideas for several months now. We've had several subcommittees to discuss these ideas and what we feel would be the best to have in the city. And that being said, I do feel like we might be at a point right now where it would be a great idea to have a marketing consultant to be able to consult with on what the city of O'Fallon, perhaps those ideas that we've compiled, what makes the most sense demographically, any competition in the area that might have events similar, what those look like, and just what makes the most sense for us to put our time and energy into. That being said, I would like to ask for a motion to put out an RFP to actually get a marketing consultant to look those over and to let us know what their thoughts are on being able to make these ideas that we had come to fruition. So I would like to see if you guys would motion to approve. I would like to ask for you guys to approve that. Do you have any questions about that, though?
Where's the RFP being funded from?
I think the idea would be that it would be through OCVB funding as part of our 26 budget request.
Anybody else have any?
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I do agree with your suggestion, Heather. We are definitely trying to promote the O'Fallon area for tourism activities and everything else. We're spending money on marketing already within this budget, advertising dollars. We've got a lot of activities that are going on, and so potentially getting someone with some marketing expertise that can look at this holistically and maybe advise us as to be more efficient with our dollars, or maybe there's things that we're missing, or maybe have a better understanding of who our actual target market is and how do we communicate with them. So I think it's worth the idea of going out and doing an RFP just to get feedback from those experts as to what they might be able to do this and allow us to evaluate that and determine how we want to move forward. So no obligation on our part to do this as much as opening the conversation.
Absolutely. So then I ask for a motion to approve.
I would like to make a motion to prepare an RFP for final review and approval by this group, this council, to regarding marketing consulting services to help support our tourism promotion efforts here in the city of O'Fallon.
Second, Dietrich.
Okay, thank you so much.
Let's vote on it.
Yes, we need to vote again. Keep forgetting that today. Let's take a vote on that. All in approval?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, thank you so much. All right, does anybody have any closing comments for today? Kelly?
While we're on the subject of budget and things that we're going to do in the future, July is our kickoff for our budget. So along with all these other things, anything new that you want in next year's budget or anything that is not getting completed in this year's budget that we need to rebudget, we'll need to know about all of that. And anything that you want, like Jennifer, to include or explanation or anything, just communicate all that so that we'll know what we're talking about. Come July, we can discuss all that here. So I do know one of the things that I would like to follow up on is something that we got this year was this new software. Like to have some feedback on that and how much it's going to cost going forward. So that's just one of the things I was thinking of. So send your ideas in and we'll include it in the July kickoff meeting.
Thank you. Thanks for the reminder. If anybody else have any comments? Other than that, we will adjourn the meeting.